If you're constantly wondering whether he likes you or not, that's already your answer. Have you ever noticed how the women who get hurt the most aren't always the women who were rejected? They're often the women who never got a clear answer. The women stuck in the middle. Not chosen, not rejected, just confused. And confusion can be one of the most emotionally exhausting places to live. Because when a man clearly doesn't want you, eventually you accept it. When a man clearly wants you, you feel secure. But when he's hot one day and distant the next, when he texts you and then disappears, when he gives attention but never certainty, your mind starts working overtime. You begin analyzing everything, every message, every look, every delay, every tiny sign. And before you know it, you're investing energy into a situation that hasn't invested the same energy into you. Anyone can say beautiful things when they're feeling lonely, bored, emotional, or curious. Consistency is different. Consistency requires intention, and intention reveals desire. Think about the people in your life who genuinely care about you. Friends, family members, people who truly value your presence. You rarely spend your days wondering where you stand with them, because their actions consistently communicate their feelings. You don't need detective work. You don't need to decode mixed signals. You don't need to guess the message is clear, and that's exactly what real romantic interest looks like too. Many women convince themselves that mixed signals are mysterious, that uncertainty means depth, that confusion means there's something worth fighting for. But often confusion is simply inconsistency wearing a romantic disguise, and that's a difficult truth to accept. Because accepting it means letting go of possibilities. The fantasy, the hope, the version of him that exists in your imagination, the version that texts back immediately, the version that chooses you, the version that suddenly realizes your worth and becomes everything you've been waiting for. But a mature woman learns something powerful. She stops falling in love with potential. She starts paying attention to reality. Reality is not what someone says. Reality is what someone repeatedly does. A man who genuinely wants to be in your life doesn't build a relationship on uncertainty. He doesn't create a situation where you're constantly questioning your value. He doesn't leave you wondering if today is the day he'll disappear. Because when someone truly sees you as a priority, consistency becomes natural. Not perfect, natural. That doesn't mean he texts every second. That doesn't mean he never gets busy. That doesn't mean life never happens. It means his overall behavior points in one direction, toward you, not away from you. One of the most overlooked forms of feminine strength is the ability to leave when clarity is missing. Not because you're angry, not because you're playing games. Not because you're trying to force someone to chase you, but because you've learnt that your peace matters more than your curiosity. You stop asking, what if he likes me? And start asking, if he does, why is his behavior making me doubt it every day? That question changes everything, because suddenly you're evaluating actions instead of promises, patterns instead of possibilities, reality instead of fantasy. And something interesting happens when women develop this mindset. They stop chasing answers. They stop seeking validation. They stop waiting for someone to choose them. Instead, they choose themselves. They decide that uncertainty is no longer enough. That almost isn't enough. That maybe isn't enough. That potential isn't enough. Because the right connection doesn't leave you permanently confused. The right connection brings clarity, not perfection. Clarity. A man who truly wants you may not always say the perfect thing. He may not be flawless. He may not be smooth. But his actions will steadily answer the question that keeps so many women awake at night. Does he really want me? And if months are passing, and you're still searching for that answer, maybe the answer isn't hidden. Maybe you've been looking directly at it all along. The women who protect their hearts the best aren't the women who never fall in love. They're the women who know when confusion has lasted long enough. They're the women who understand that consistency is not a bonus. It's the foundation dot. And once you understand that, you stop chasing certainty from someone else. You start trusting the signals that are already there, even when they're not the signals you hoped to see. Tell me honestly, what's the longest you've ever stayed in a situation that left you confused?